What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Beyond the Gray Media. This is Josh here. I'm checking in on you out there in YouTube land. Happy Tuesday to you and yours out there. Does anybody even say that? Does that even make sense? Is there such a thing as a happy Tuesday? Really, what is Tuesday? It has no feel. It's just the bastardized son of Monday, and Monday is like the worst day. Now, a little behind the curtain here, because we can't just get right into an extreme horror film. We got to talk a little bit for a second. I haven't seen you in a few days. I've been worried. I've been wondering. People need to know these kind of things. So in my household, we have this thing called FAM, and that is FA Monday, by any means necessary. After the weekend, nobody wants to go back to work. All we want to do is get through our workday in the best way we can, get home, and, Sunday we might prepare, cook meals and stuff. Like you might crock pot some chicken or whatever. You want to get home, you want to have an easy meal, put on something easy to watch, and you want to take your pants off as quickly and easily as possible. FAM. Fuck a Monday, ultimately. And so really, what is today? It's FAT. It's just F a Tuesday. It's the exact same thing as F a Monday. It's just like, maybe you can start to think like, God, tomorrow's hump day. We can really start to think about the weekend, right? Because we don't even talk about the weekend until probably like Thursday morning, because it doesn't even feel like it's ever going to come, because work weeks are so long, especially when you've got school conferences and Thanksgiving, all these things going on all the time. My wife just had her birthday. It was my birthday. We're out of time. It's just like constantly going. So as much as I love this time of year, man, it flies by. So take a minute, enjoy it before we get into this film here. I hope you're doing well out there. That's the niceties. Let's get that out of the way. That was the housekeeping. Now we got to talk about this film right here. 3 and 3 Extremes from Arrow Video that just got released on Blu-ray for the first time. Now listen, I was new to some of these films except for Dumplings. I had seen Dumplings, but I thought that maybe I seen the original, but no, I just watched part of this movie back in 2004. What is it? It's kind of confusing. The way that I've kind of understood it was 3 came out, I want to say in like 2002 maybe, and it was a foreign release, and it had 3 different directors, whether it was like Japanese, Hong Kong, Korea, right? However they were going to do that one. It wasn't gaining a lot of steam until you had people come on for part 2, and they were starting to kind of pick up steam in America. You had Park Chan-wook, who had done Old Boy and some other films. You had Takashi Miike, I hope I don't say that wrong, who of course had done Audition and a bunch of other great movies in print. And then they had Fruit Chan, who did the first one. And that became 3 Extremes 2, which was pretty much lost on DVD until now, at least from as much as I've found. What I will say is I'm not going to really cover the first one, 3, that much, because I feel like compared to 3 Extremes 2, it just failed in comparison. It was just a little bit underwhelming. So this right here is one hell of a release. Let's get into it. Thanks for being here. 3 Extremes is just that. It is 3 short stories, about 40 minutes each, to create this 2-hour film from Arrow Video. 3 Extremes opens with the first segment entitled Dumplings by Fruit Chan. Now, Dumplings is a segment that follows a middle-aged woman named Mrs. Lee, who's desperate to reclaim her youth, her beauty, and she seeks the help of a mysterious chef who has been specializing in these peculiar dishes made from dubious ingredients, these dumplings, if you will. As her obsession grows, the length she goes for a taste of youth becomes more horrifyingly clear as it continues to snowball. It reveals the moral decay leaking beneath her inner desires. Now listen to me about this. Dumplings is one of the best horror shorts I have ever seen, period. I'm talking about the way it's filmed. I'm talking about the music. I'm talking about the exchange and the dialogue between the two. This is really, what do you have to sell me, and what are you willing to pay for it? It's a tale as old as time. And what is so messed up about this is obviously the content manner. What these dumplings are made of is something pretty extreme, okay? I'm going to go ahead and upset some people. I'm just going to tell you. This person works at a clinic, okay? And at this clinic, in this ward of the hospital, they perform these operations, and it's kind of like a schmishmorshman. Something kind of weird goes on here, okay? And you end up with these very, very little meat products, these little meat sacks that go into these wonderful dumplings that are prepared a different way based on different stages of where this woman needs to have them to regain her youth and her beauty. And this woman that wants to, she was like a television star. Her husband doesn't want her anymore. She never really got the children that she wanted, and she just wants to be effective. She wants to regain that star power, that beauty that she once had. And unfortunately, she will go to the end of the earth to get it. And in Dumplings, that's just what you get. You get to see these dumplings prepared. You get to listen to the crunch. You get to hear bones. Obviously, as she starts to eat more of them, she becomes a little more virile, becomes a little more full of herself. She becomes like a big fucking deal, really. And she starts walking around hot to trot until all of a sudden one of the dumplings is made from something that came from a family matter, some sort of family situation that caused her to start to smell, right? She gets a little fishy, if you will. And this story, it's amazing, man. I can't describe it much more without upsetting everybody, but Dumplings, for one, as the first segment, is a 10 out of 10 segment. Unfortunately, the next two that come after this are almost just as good, but it almost ruins the rest of the movie how good Dumplings is. The second installment of Three Extremes is a film called Cut, directed by Park Chan-wook. Now, this is a short story that involves a successful filmmaker who was taken hostage by a deranged man, actually an extra in a lot of his previous films. The extra or captor forces the filmmaker to confront his own past and sacrifices that he has made for his own career. He is making a film in his own house, and he's using the director, his wife, and a captive girl as the star. And this is where things really unfold. The tension escalates as the filmmaker must navigate this kind of twisted game of survival where the lines between reality and fiction start to blur, and it does have quite a climax. Now, what ends up happening is there is a lot of jealousy. There's a lot of, it should have been me. How can you be such a great director? You've also stood up for me. You've been a great person your whole life. That's not fair. You need to have some fatal flaws, and I'm going to expose them right fucking now. In front of your wife, I want to hear some of your most embarrassing stories. I want to hear some dirt on you. I want to find a way to get you to be basically worse than me, or I'm going to cut your wife's fingers off. And what we did not say is his wife is kind of suspended on this giant piano, and the piano wires are fastened to each one of her fingers. So she's kind of held up with her face and hands connected to this piano, and every 5 minutes basically that goes by, a finger or a limb gets removed, and it starts to become extremely stressful. And all he really needs to do is prove that he's, less than, and there's this female that's sitting on the couch, and if he just kills her, the game can end. But unfortunately, that's not what happens. Cut is unfortunate to follow Dumplings. If this would have been the opening, people would remember Cut a lot more. And that's not to have anything negative to say about it, because it has some of the craziest visuals, almost like Kill Bill in style. It's got this, it should be. It's directed by Park Chan-wook, who, Oldboy, a bunch of other Korean movie. He does great fucking movies. So the style and the colors in this film, it's 40 minutes of just tension and dread as the director is just kind of forced to really kind of give the dirt to this guy and try to save his wife's fingers, because the wife is also the one who does the music for his film. So if she can't play the piano, she can't write. It kind of starts to wrap that up, and all this can end with just killing this innocent girl on the couch. And it becomes crazy, it becomes desperate, and it is one hell of a second segment to Three Extremes. And last and not least from Three Extremes is the final film called Box, directed by Takashi Miike, a Japanese film. This segment delves into the psyche of two women that are grappling with grief and loss. And I'm going to really kind of leave this one as spoiler free as possible, because if you don't know, the less you know about this one, the more. And basically, there's these two girls that are kind of these dancers in this kind of sideshow, and they become a little bit jealous of one another. There's an older gentleman that is kind of pitting them against each other, giving one a necklace, giving one nothing. And unfortunately, the sister accidentally does something to the other sister, and maybe there's a little supernatural stuff going on. Maybe there's ghosts, maybe there's hauntings, maybe they were never there. Maybe there's a lot of maybes in this one. There's a lot of extreme stuff that is happening, I should say. I don't know if I can even get into it because of the current climate that things that we're dealing with, but Box is an incredible little short, and I feel like if this was just released as a feature full length, I think this would be a nasty, disgusting, everything that Takashi Miike is known for, like everything that I love about his films, you're going to get that and more with this final chapter. And I think that it rounds out this, and it makes everything. You've got Dumplings, Cut, and Box. It's just this wonderful horror anthology, man. I think it's incredible. I think it's 2 hours long. And at first, if you're not into foreign cinema, I mean, all of these are obviously subtitled and they're in the respective languages that are out there, but they're excellent, man. And you really got to give foreign cinema a chance. And right now, you can do that by going to themovieroom.com. This was a review copy that Michael and Deb were so awesome to send to me to review. They were like, hey man, people on your channel are probably going to really like these films. You should definitely check it out. Love to hear your thoughts on it. And I can tell you right now that I haven't even touched the surface of the special features because there's hours and hours on that third disc. I'm sorry, there's 2 discs. So there's disc 1 that's 3, there's disc 2 that's 3 extremes, plus all the special features. So let's go ahead and peek at this thing. Thank you to the Movie Room for sending it over, making sure that all this is okay to show. The other disc is still in my player in there. It's excellent. You get a poster, you get reversible cover art. The guy that's going to hang up a 3 extremes poster is my kind of people, because that guy doesn't give a fuck, man. This is... Now, it's just Blu-ray, so you're going to get a little bit of grain. If we can talk about the audio and the video really quick. When you're watching, like, let's say the first segment, Dumplings, on Blu-ray, it's still in Dolby DTS HD, I want to say, and you can hear the chewing, you can hear everything going on inside of that dumpling, whether it's frying, whether it's being removed. There's a lot of sound happening in this movie, and there's something about foreign cinema that I think the sound just it's like really intense, it's menacing, and it's sharp, like it's punchy. So you got a film like Cut, man, and those piano wires are snapping and cutting limbs off like this. The sound is incredible. I think that the video, the visuals of it, if you're into Blu-ray and if you're a 4K purist, you might notice a little bit of grain, and that it could be a little bit upsetting, I guess, but I still think that it looks really, really good, especially compared to when I watched Dumplings. I watched it on DVD like 21 years ago, okay, a long time ago. And this Blu-ray, it looks damn good. It's not 4K, but it's real good, man, and I think it's not going to get much better. The special features are killer. So if you want to pick that up, go to themovieroom.com right now. Use my code BEYOND10. Save yourself 10% off. Grab something else to go with it, man. There's a ton of great movies on there, and you know they ship at the best. There's nothing's ever damaged. They ship really, really quickly for those West Coast people. And yeah, you guys, if you love foreign cinema like I do, and you love horror anthologies, you don't always need Creepshow and Tales from the Dark Side and Body Bags. Sometimes you want something with a little bit more oomph to it, and that's where you get 3 extremes, and that's why I cannot recommend it enough. Take care of yourselves. I love you so much. If you're new, like, hit that notification bell. Make sure you know when things are coming out, because I'm going to try to do another one in a couple of days. You just want to know, and I appreciate it. Talk some shit down there. Thank you guys so much. Take care. Love you. Bye.